Hello, welcome to Kevin's Corner. And my name is Kevin, and this is where I write articles and make videos about Christian worldview and biblical concepts and theology and sometimes politics. And today I would like to discuss with you some thoughts I've had about having enough. In the Bible, Jacob was the brother of Esau. And he was quite a crafty and deceptive fellow. He successfully connived to steal away his brother's birthright. And feeling guilty, a great deal of fear, Jacob approached his brother with a gift consisting of a great herd of livestock in hopes that he might purchase forgiveness for what he had done. And when Esau saw Jacob approaching with all his family and servants and all sorts of goats and rams and camels and cattle and donkeys, he considered it all, and he looked at Jacob and he said, "I have enough, my brother." I've thought about how unusual it is for a man to be satisfied that he has had enough. Our lives seem consumed with the exhaustive effort to accumulate more and more. No one, no matter how old or how productive or how wealthy, seems to reach a point in life where they can say, along with Esau, "I have enough." And I am at a point in my life where I spend much more time reflecting on my past than thinking about my future. I have concluded that I have received enough. I have experienced a flood of God's blessings. I have more than enough. I am also aware that in return, I have not given enough. I've recently thought of all the wonderful people that God has placed in my life, beginning with two wonderful parents who made tremendous sacrifices so that I might have greater opportunities and live a more comfortable life than they ever did. They were imperfect, for sure. They fought their own spiritual battles and struggled through the torrential storms of life, but they did enough to point me in the right direction. I was sent to a private Christian school 500 miles from home at the age of 15, which may seem harsh to some, but it was probably the best thing my parents could have done for me. There I lived with some of the most godly people I've ever met. They invested so much into my life. They were certainly imperfect in their humanity, but they were doing their best to be obedient to God and to answer their calling and to make the necessary sacrifices to pour into the lives of hundreds of young men and women. It wasn't a perfect school of perfect people, but God was giving me enough to stir a hunger in my heart to have what these people taught and to have what they lived. I am thankful for my family, all of my family, my wife, my children and grandchildren, siblings, all imperfect humans that God placed in my life as a great blessing to me. And these are the people I love most in life. They struggle with the difficulty of trying to correct their imperfections. They try patiently to cope with my imperfections. All of that said, they are enough. Enough to satisfy my need to be a husband, to a wife, a father, to my children, a grandfather, to my grandchildren. God has blessed me, not with perfection, but with enough. I have some wonderful friends. None of them is perfect, but they are enough. They're quick to provide an ear when I need someone to listen. They're quick to extend a strong arm when I need lifting. I've been blessed to work with some very godly coworkers. They, in their humanity, and I in mine, are laden down with weaknesses. Didn't Paul remind us that we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellence of the power may be of God, not of us? All of us work together as imperfect beings, performing our task imperfectly toward a unified goal of impacting the lives of young people. And though imperfect, God provides enough to accomplish His will and to wring glory from our imperfect efforts. In my reflections, I celebrate the innumerable blessings of God, and I've been blessed to know godly people, and I've been blessed to learn truth from His written word. And I have heard thousands upon thousands of sermons and lessons that have expanded my understanding of the God I serve. He has taken me to wonderful places to work with people whose spiritual gifts I can only admire and often envy. He has given me a wonderful family that has faithfully supported me in my darkest moments and shared my joy during my brightest days. And I can surely say with Esau, I have enough. God has given me far, far more than I need. And I've been blessed with far more than enough to satisfy all my longings. More than enough for me to find my way to a Savior who died that I might be free, that I might experience eternal salvation. And what have I given in return for all that I have received? I believe surely one day I will stand with regrets before a God who has blessed me with more than enough, and feel much remorse that I didn't give him more in the lifespan that was granted to me. In my remaining years, I know I can never do enough, but I want to do so much more. Thank you for spending time with me and listening to my reflections today. And if this was helpful to you, please like and feel free to subscribe to Kevin's Corner on YouTube and on Substack. And if you feel these words might encourage somebody else, please share it. Until the next time, be strong and courageous.